Welcome back. In this session you will be introduced to several examples of collection vehicles and what determines their choice. After this session you should be able to differentiate among vehicles of waste collection and recognize their particularities. Appraise and argue for specific features of waste collection vehicles in relation to your specific local context. Let's briefly recap on the waste collection system. It involves access and collection of waste from the point of its generation and its transport to a point of recovery and/or disposal. Typical for low and middle income settings is a two-step collection system. Primary collection, where waste is collected in the neighborhood and moved to a collection or transfer point. And secondary collection, where waste is transported from the collection point to the recovery or disposal site. Vehicles used for these different steps of the system will vary accordingly. Choice of a waste collection vehicle will depend on a variety of factors. Here are some of the most important. On one hand, the vehicle needs to be appropriate to the topography of the area and the type of roads or paths, and their respective conditions, to access the waste. On the other hand, the waste vehicle must be able to account for the amount, weight and volume of waste that needs to be collected in every round of collection. The more we can carry in one trip, and the faster we can load and unload waste from the vehicles, the quicker we can provide service to the area, and thus, lower the cost of collection. Also, the load and weight should match the type of carrier. In other words, choosing a motorized or manually powered vehicle will depend on the weight that needs to be carried. Finally, we also need to ensure an efficient and functional service system for our vehicles, such as a mechanical workshop, and a quick access to affordable spare parts. Let's look at some specific examples. Here is an example of neighborhood road conditions in a city of Togo. Although the streets are wide, they are nevertheless difficult to access because on the unsealed surface, and various potholes and rubble. In this example from India, the width of the road is the limiting factor influencing the kind of vehicles that can access this area. Similarly, the lack of roads shown in this image of a slum neighborhood make the access for vehicles very difficult. Or in this case, where the combination of the dense settlement and lack of roads with the steep topography constitutes a challenge for vehicles. The most simple form of primary collection vehicle is manually powered, for instance, like this wheelbarrow. Or this manual handcart, which has a bit more loading capacity than the previous one. Or this handcart, which has a removable side for easier unloading. There is also a bicycle cart, in this case, adapted to collect two different types of waste that have been segregated. Although small in loading capacity, this motorized three-wheel transporter, which also has hydraulic rams to lift the front of the truck body, allows a much quicker emptying. Then come larger vehicles, such as a compactor truck. The hydraulic compactor is used when waste has a low density, low weight per volume. Compaction allows to create more space in the truck body, and to therefore carry more load. Such a device, however, only makes sense if the waste has low density. If the waste has a high density, there is little potential for compaction. Therefore, it might be wiser to just use an open body truck, such as this one, to increase the loading capacity. In this picture, we would like to illustrate the importance of having enough loading capacity, ideally through high rigid side walls. In this case, the capacity is low, where the amounts are large, thus leading to overloading and subsequent spilling. This is a nice example of a close body truck with roll-up side filling. It provides high loading capacity, well enclosed to avoid spilling. Capacity and ease of loading and unloading can also be demonstrated in these two pictures. This bicycle cart from Vietnam has limited capacity with regard to the waste amount. The collector has improvised the side walls with wooden board to increase the capacity. However, spillage will most likely occur. Also, transferring the waste from this bicycle cart to the collection container will be time-consuming. This bicycle cart from India, where the cart body is equipped with blue bins filled with the collected waste. These bins are then easily removed and quickly emptied at the collection point. When collecting waste at collection point, we can distinguish stationary containers emptied by trucks, such as in this example. Or in this one, although here, the workload and time required for emptying the container and loading the truck is very high and inefficient. Removable containers that are picked up by the vehicle and replaced by empty containers. Besides the vehicle choice, the support system that ensures the functionality of the collection fleet is an important element to describe the technical aspects of waste collection, such as the availability of a good workshop and supply of spare parts to repair vehicles when they are broken. The performance of such support can be measured by the average downtime of vehicles, in other words the number of days the vehicle is idle, before it is finally repaired and can fulfill its function of waste collection again. For more information on collection, this very good publication by UN Habitat is available on the internet. You can find the link under this video. We've reached the end of the session. Let's summarize what we have learned. We have seen how the choice of waste collection vehicles must adapt to the local context. There is no simple blueprint on what vehicle to use, but one needs to consider different aspects that influence the choice of vehicle. You must consider the topography, the road width and conditions, waste amounts and density, as well as efficient vehicle servicing, to ensure vehicles can keep collecting waste and offer a great waste management service. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next session.